said, look, I'm real good friends with Mark Schiff. He calls me up and he says, I got a job up in Solvang. I'm doing a one-nighter at Ronald Reagan's ranch. You want to come with me? Now, he's never asked me to come with him on a gig before. But I had nothing to do. I said, well, I'll go. Let's go. All right, so we drive up to Santa Ynez, I think, whatever it is. It's up there, Solvang. It's up past Santa Barbara. We drive up to this place. We go into town. We meet a guy. He comes in. We're dressed like regularly where we were dressed. And this guy comes, and he's got a Humvee with military people there with him, you know, uniform. I can't remember, Marines or Army or something. And he's got a big, the whole back of the Humvee is just filled with clothes. He says, find your size. You got to wear cowboy outfits now. You got to get changed. You can't come up there looking like this. You got to come out. So we get into like a Western shirt and a jacket. And I think we even had cowboy hats or something, you know. And we get in this thing, and they drive us up in the mountains of Ronald Reagan's ranch, which I didn't know that's where it was. I didn't know it was that close. I'd always his California ranch, but we drive up there. And it's one of these retreats where the people who run the country get together and decide what happens the next year. That kind of one of those retreats where you go, these are the movers and shakers. There's everybody up there, and they're all playing cowboy, and they all got their little campsites. And, you know, here's the head of AT&T. We'd go by, he goes, that's the head of AT&T. That guy over there's Coca-Cola. There's the Marine Corps commandant. There's all these people up there, and they're all dressed in cowboy stuff. And he says, you guys hungry? We're serving right now. And they had steaks, I mean steaks, and they had lobster tails, not little rock lobster thing, huge lobster tails grilled on everything. I sit down, I start chowing down lobster tails. I'm eating them, and Mark's talking to the guy, and we're sitting there, and I'm chowing, I'm eating like crazy. How many lobster tails I can eat before this show starts? That was my plan, you know. And so I'm listening to the conversations I'm eating, and the guy's saying, Mark, I saw your tape, and the agent and the booker, they showed me what you do. It's terrific. I just want to say, you know, given what's going on up here and where you are right now, I wouldn't say anything about being Jewish or from New York City. And I stopped eating immediately. Because he had just pulled a red flag out and waved it in front of a bull. You tell most comics they can't do something, that's the first thing they're going to do. Especially Mark Schiff, who I knew very well. So we go a little bit later to where they're going to perform. And there's a ventriloquist out there. The ventriloquist is one of these guys. He's doing every ventriloquist dick joke you can think of, you know. I come sawdust, you know, everything, you know. And he's working dirty, and he's killing. And these guys are sitting on metal folding chairs on concrete. It was a performance place. It was like, I don't know what you call these things, but it's 4 like stone columns with a roof on top, and then one wall. Everything was open, 3 walls open, and one wall was huge fireplace. Like you could walk into the fireplace, and above the fireplace, a huge oil painting of Ronald Reagan. And the guy was performing right in front of that. And all these guys are sitting on metal chairs, all in cowboy hats, and then there are guys standing on their outside around them and then there are guys on horseback around there, right? And then there are guys in uniform with weapons around, like hanging around outside, okay? So he's killing. Then they bring Mark up, and Mark starts up with, I'm Jewish, I'm from New York, subways. I don't know why I'm doing Jackie Mason now. And I start hearing nothing but metal folding chairs moving on concrete. That sound. And Mark, of course, hears it, and he goes, listen, folks, I brought a very funny friend of mine with me, which I was ready for. I knew exactly what was going to happen. And he brings me up and introduces me, and I go up, and I just go into my typical, you know, husband-wife material. I just crank up the wife a little harder. My wife, that kind of thing. A little Alan King, put a little Alan King spin to it. She's hinching my shoulders. My wife, she spends money, my wife, you know. And they're howling and laughing. And I do my little dance, and I get out, and now we're back behind this thing. The Humvee's there. We're going to be driven down, and the guy's arguing with Mark. He says, oh, I'm not paying you. He did the show. And Mark says, that's what we do. We're a team. That's not a team. He said, no, this is the way teams work now. Sometimes one guy goes on, sometimes the other guy goes on. You don't go on stage together. This is the way we do it. Sometimes it's going well, and I go on and stay on, and sometimes I bring him, and it's the other way around, too. That's why we travel together. The guy gives Mark the check, and we leave. That's it.